Welcome to the AI Chat podcast. Today we have a special guest with some breaking news. Nicholas Holland is from HubSpot and is breaking down all of basically the exciting AI stuff that they've been rolling out and announcing today at their inbound conference. There's a lot of exciting stuff. So welcome to the show, Nicholas.
Thanks, Jaden. Appreciate you having me.
Um, Super excited about some of the announcements. Some of the ones that I was super curious to get your take on. I know you basically are rolling out a way to connect data that's really interesting. You're allowing people to access a lot of interesting agents, building out a bunch of agentic teams and stuff. Talk to me a little bit about the data hub and kind of what you guys are doing there, because I think this is kind of the first step to making a lot of these AI tools a lot more useful.
Yeah, we found over the last few years that effectively AI is only as good as the data that you provide it. So for the last decade, if you deal with a lot of companies, one of the first challenges was like just how do you connect your data into one source? And we worked a lot on that for years with HubSpot. We have a pretty strong CRM where lots of people connect things there. But then over time, what happened was there's many other data sources that they want to connect besides just stuff with the CRM. They have unstructured data that they want to start bringing into one spot. They have other systems that they want to pull into. And then once they have that, it's a lot of people are overloaded with data. So they wanted a lot of tools to make it super easy to ask questions of the data, to basically shape that data, make it easy for other people in the team to use it. So that's why we came out with Data Hub. We've always at HubSpot really focused on how do you make hard things easy. And a lot of times the things that you see in Data Hub have only been for like really large enterprise upmarket customers. And so we
Yeah.
just wanted to make that easy for everybody.
Okay. Amazing. What do you think some of basically the biggest takeaways, benefits that people are going to see now that this is kind of integrated and the abilities there?
Yeah, the big thing with AI is that it really needs like a lot of context. I think
Hmm.
lots of people are going to hear this whole next year will be about context, context, context.
Hmm.
And what that ultimately comes down to is like, I always laugh, Jaden, like imagine if you hired somebody to come work for you, you couldn't just day one be like, write me a memo on this or, go research this. You would have to tell them a little bit about your company. So we've
Yeah.
built a lot of context that we gather about our customers' companies. So we know about their ideal customer profile. We know about the products they do. We know about like why they win deals, why they lose deals. We know what their customers' hot points are. All of that context is key, and we're passively capturing that, but also we kind of let customers go in there and actively, collaborate on it. We also know a lot about the users. This was pretty interesting. When you're working at any company, you begin to have preferences, how you like things written, how you want to talk, your voice, all that. So we put a lot of memories inside of HubSpot so we understand about the users. So we have user context. Now we have the company context. And then we've been working for years on how do you build more context around the people that you work with, your customers, your prospects. And so we have all that user context now. All of that really comes to bear when you're working with AI. Like, as simple as you want to write an email to somebody, it's going to be infinitely better if it knows who it works for, if it knows, what you're asking it to do, your role, especially if it's writing on behalf of you, and then if it knows who it's talking to. So I think context is really going to be a huge difference between people who thought AI was kind of neat and now
Yeah.
it's going to start being necessary.
Yep. I love that. I think basically that's how you improve the quality. And so, yeah,
100%.
I love that you guys have done this. It's going to be fantastic. As someone who has used HubSpot for marketing in the past as like one of my go-to tools, really excited about a lot of the stuff you're rolling out there. Talk to me a little bit about the marketing hub, the segments and personalization, the marketing studio, the AI and email. Like, tell me about basically what's rolling out there and what you're excited about.
Yeah, man, marketing is changing a lot. It's funny. That's been like the talk track for like the last 3 years. Like marketing is changing, but AI is really changing the face of marketing. A couple of things that are fascinating is that we take this premise here at HubSpot that the companies that are going to lead in this next AI era, like it's going to be the smartest hybrid teams. What's a hybrid team? It's a team where like humans lead, but AI accelerates, and that really matters a lot. Like in the marketing world right now, specifically when marketers are trying to do something as simple as like segmentation. That's like a huge part of a marketer's job. They're often like masters at like filtering and thinking
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So we basically thought like, what would it look like where we use AI to come in and actually help you find those kind of, hidden gems inside of your contacts and things like that. So, technology for a lot of marketers, if they're listening, where you do like look-alike technologies, where you have the ability to find a bunch of things who look like this customer set or behave this way. All that's possible now because we have all of that firmographic, demographic, all the event data. But the other part is that sometimes people just want to talk to it, like natural language. Like, how do you ask it? Hey, man, here's what I'm
Mhm.
looking for. Will you help me that out? Like, help me find that. So that's a lot about how we help them segment. On the marketing studio, what's interesting there is, you put together a brief, you have an idea of what you want to do as a campaign. HubSpot touches a lot of channels now. And we had a lot of customers who said, like, "Whew, I wish you could actually help me scaffold out an entire campaign. Who am I talking to? What's it for? What's the content pieces I should do? Can you make those on brand voice?" So we put a lot of work into that. And then the last part that's kind of neat is we really have like a new methodology in a world of AI. We had inbound. Inbound was like very straightforward. You give value to the world, you get value back. But that has changed. That value proposition has changed. People aren't out there like writing a blog post, capturing a form,
Yeah.
emailing. So, what does that look like now where you have a bunch of AI tools that give you these new superpowers? What does it look like to basically be creative in a marketing world? And so, we have like this thing called Breeze Assistant, which effectively is like a marketer's best friend. You can ask it questions and all the context I said, it knows who it works for, it knows you, it understands your customers. So, from like an ideation standpoint to then you have to rapidly create things, get them out there, test them. You then have to iterate on them and then you have to measure it. It's just you'll see that the users will see it's like a cool little infinity symbol, but we call it loop. And we think that this is effectively in a world where things go at AI speed. We think a lot
Mhm.
of people are going to be doing this.
That's super cool. Okay, on that topic, I know you guys are rolling out about 15 different Breeze agents. These are for marketing, sales, and service. Talk to me about, I guess, some of the most interesting use cases. Basically, from what I understand, like you're kind of using this to deploy these agents, which are going to be kind of like your AI, teammates,
Yeah.
coworkers that are actually able to do things for you. So, what are you most excited for, and what are some of the interesting things you guys are rolling out with that?
Totally. So again, I go back to like what I want to do is make HubSpot basically the best platform for hybrid teams.
Okay.
And so what I mean by that is like this is where the humans work, the agents work, you have all the context. It's like super simple but very powerful. I think a couple things that if I was a listener, what would I really care about? I think right now, again, I go back to the Breeze Assistant. We have this like very simple belief that going forward, every marketer, sales, and service person should have like a chief of staff or an executive assistant that's an AI assistant. So
Yep.
this is effectively under the hood. We have a deep partnership with OpenAI. So just think Chat GPT, plus we've deeply embedded it with all of that context. So it knows your business better than anything else.
Mhm.
That's super powerful. The second thing is that we know that a lot of our customers have kind of tier one interaction. So the fancy way of saying like they get maybe an inbound from the website, or they have a support. And so we built a customer agent that a year ago came out really good at support, world class, 65% on average resolution. But a bunch of our customers were like, man, my customers are not like just coming for support. They have product questions. They want to
Mm.
talk to a salesperson. And we've all had that time where like you hate to be bounced around and repeat yourself. Like,
Yeah.
Jaden, tell me again, who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah.
So we basically said, how can we build like a front office concierge? One that can seamlessly move between marketing questions, kind of products, et cetera, can move into a sales conversation. Tell me about your pricing and packaging, can then route you to a rep, help you book a meeting, something like that. So customer agent will be out there that can handle your support and all of your pre-sales needs. The other cool thing, this gets wild really quickly, it will hand it off to the second agent that is getting a lot of traction, which is the prospecting agent. You hire a rep. You come to them. First off, a lot of reps are not even trained to know your company well. So, like, just imagine you had like the best rep who knows your company well.
Right.
Then you basically say, hey, man, here's like a list of prospects you have to reach out to. There's always this tension where they don't want to do a lot of account research because that's not selling time. But the
Mm.
more they connect with them, if they haven't done a lot of research, they don't really have a lot to offer. It's not very personalized.
Yep.
So what we've done is we built a prospecting agent that works for the rep, and it does deep account research on your prospects. And it turns that into an account plan that stays in the CRM. A lot of our owners love this because if you have a rep turnover, et cetera, that account plan stays with it. Other thing
Mm.
we've done is that it keeps monitoring it. So we bought a company a while back called Clearbit, but we have thousands of listing posts all over the web to know when people are going on sites, what they're searching for, et cetera. So now the agent is listening, and if it sees that they're showing intent on your site or other properties, it effectively knows to reach out. And here's the best part. It doesn't just reach out with like, hello, Jaden, I would love to sell you this. It actually knows your business, going back to the context. It knows your
Okay.
products, going back to that. It knows you. It's already done the research, but also it's super aware of where it is in the sales cycle. And this was the part that was like a real unlock. So it can start off in the beginning, just trying to intro. But imagine if you and I connect, we talk. I bring up the fact that like I'm a parent, I'm basically going to a soccer game. The agent understands all that unstructured data, and the next reach out, it references that. That is sick. That is sick.
Oh, that's amazing. You're gonna get an email. It's like, Nicholas, hope the soccer game went great.
Totally. Totally. And what's crazy is that now you go back to the customer agent. The customer agent can talk with people coming to the website, coming to email. But then if the customer agent deems that you're a prospect, it automatically passes it off to the prospecting agent that does the account. It's wild. This is wild.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So the thing that I love about this is that it's going beyond just like, oh, we have like a little chat bot inside of HubSpot that helps, marketers or salespeople like with their job and getting info. Like, I love that it becomes, so how do you imagine this actually looking for someone? Is this going to be like basically the chat window in the corner of like a website where
Man.
someone's trying to talk to someone?
No, man, the game's way bigger than that now. Like a couple things. Like first, yes, you'll have a chat bot in the bottom right, but with customer agent, it's pretty nice because now it works on WhatsApp, it works on Facebook Messenger, it works on email. So it's a multi-channel concierge. Like it's there where your customers are. It
Mm.
wants to be that first touch. The second thing that's cool is that this is also crazy, Jaden. It actually is like a teammate in that it drops down into like you can see all your reps and you can see where a customer agent is in there as well, which is sick. So like you're
Oh,
managing.
that's cool.
That's like managing a hybrid team, and I
Yeah.
actually think that's what's going to come next. I think for a lot of people over the next 24 months, you're going to see the rise of a new role, the AI manager, like the agent manager, and I think you're going to see an agent trainer. Small companies, they'll be the same one, but in larger companies, you'll see someone like an admin will turn on these agents and give them to a team. But then you'll see teams themselves will train them, give them new context, et cetera. And man, that's gonna be wild. Can you imagine looking at like an org chart like Jaden's team and it's like three people and 8 agents? It's gonna be wild.
Okay, that's crazy. I'm curious, and I bet a lot of listeners are also wondering how plug and play is something like this. Like how much training is this? Basically, works out of the box with your data. Do you have to go in and give like a bunch of specifications to these agents on how to behave and how to do things? Like, I guess what's the setup look like on
Yeah.
something like that?
So again, I told you about like with Data Hub, we always try to make hard things easy. Um, it's funny, like people talk about HubSpot. If you're into point solutions, like that's awesome. But everybody knows the more you do that, like you got to cobble it all together, you got to stitch it, you got to try to get it back to some data source. So that has been hard. And we've
Mhm.
always made that easy so that, because sometimes people are like, are you saying HubSpot's easier than a point solution? No, but nothing is easier than HubSpot to basically get all of that stuff connected. When it is connected, though, what's interesting is that it's one data layer, one user interface, one place to manage users. So I bring that up to you because setting up agents right now, our goal is to like spend 15 minutes or less setting it up, and it should already have all of that stuff about your organization ready to go. Customer agent in particular is 15 minutes. You click a few channels, and it's already training itself. So like you train it off, like let's say your website, you literally put in the URL, it'll crawl 1,000 pages.
Mhm.
Put in your knowledge base. It'll crawl all of your knowledge base. You can upload files. So it's like pretty fast. So 15 minutes to set that up. The prospecting agent, same thing. You go in there. If you're a team of one, that's like pretty easy. You just set up like me in your one profile. But if you're a manager, let's say you have a sales team of 10, for example, you can go in there, set it up, assign it to them. And it even has like different profiles. So like this gets a little wild, but like if someone sells up market, if someone sells mid-market, if someone sells retail products, so I can do all that. So most of our agents, we're trying to have set up in like a very short amount of time, get it deployed for value. And then the training is pretty easy. Like, thumbs up, thumbs down. You can go in there and add some more files if it's missing context. Hell, one last thing, this would blow your mind as well. Like customer agent is even like self-training now.
Really?
If it misses, this gets wild. So like, let's say customer agent's trying to help you and you're like, tell me about this product. It's like, oh, I don't know about this product. And so then it kicks you off to a rep. So our like using HubSpot, the rep will call you and they'll be like, Jaden, what's going on? You say, I want to know about this product. You'll have a whole conversation. The ticket will get closed. We have another agent, the knowledge base agent, that's listening, and it will write up a knowledge base article and then kick it to you as the service manager. And you're like, yeah, that looks pretty good. Or you'll change a few things. And that immediately makes the customer agent smarter. Think about that.
Oh, man.
Isn't
That's
that,
amazing.
isn't that sick?
Oh my gosh. Oh no, that's so good because basically what's happening is like you're training it off of the literal questions that people are asking in an
100%.
actual conversation. And so it's kind of like an FAQ section on a website, except it's like unlimited. It's like not
Unlimited.
frequently asked questions. It's
It's like,
every asked
I
question.
answer. If I can't answer, my human buddy, I'm the agent, my human buddy answers. And then I take all that unstructured data, put together an article. My human buddy says, yeah, that looks good. And now I know the answer.
That's amazing. So one thing that I think is interesting is kind of the concept of having like an org chart with a bunch of these agents that are running and kind of doing things. How much of what they do needs to be reviewed by a person? And also, let's say there's a small company that's like, hey, I want to try this out. They're getting started. Maybe it's a team of like 1, 2, 3 marketers and they're getting on there. Like how autonomous could one of these agents be? Could you give it the payment link and it sends that over for like a product, or is there kind of a human that always has to be there to close it? Like where does it at?
Man, it's a big spectrum. I will tell you, when people are starting on the AI journey, they effectively are nervous. They don't want it to
Mhm.
do a lot of things without their approval. And that makes a lot of sense. You got to build trust. What I have seen is that over time, though, the more trust is built, the more they do want it to run autonomously. So we have this thing, Breeze Studio, which effectively is a place where you can go in there and kind of manage and train the agents. So the easiest way to think about it is we have like 20 agents that are going to be out at inbound. We have a very easy to follow marketplace because like that's another thing is our customers like, how do I know which agents? Am I literally going all over the web and hiring all these point solutions? And so we put Breeze Marketplace in there where like there's your first set of agents you can go hire. The second thing though is that once you start using them, people want to influence them. There's no world in which I come work for you, Jaden, and I just know what to do. You're going to be
Right.
like, that's not how we do it. Here's the software that we use, do this, say that. So we want to make it very easy for you to kind of train and influence the agents. And so it's very simple. Agents have a goal. Agents have context, files, all the stuff we talked about in the system, your brand, all that. And then agents have tools. So our customers should be able to go in there and give it new training, new context. They should be able to change out tools they can do. They can even go in there and like augment the goal. So I saw one the other day where it was like an account handoff agent. So sales notoriously does a bad job handing off to the service team. And so there's an agent now that sits in the middle and like does a beautiful account handoff plan. But one of our customers was like, I want to change what they're writing. I want it to be different. Like these are the things we care about. So they just went in there. This is what I really want you to do. And so that will be very easy for them to go do that. Once they have that set up, what this customer did is once they ran it a few times, they were like, I trust it. They turned it on automation. So literally when a deal stage changes from
Mhm.
kind of open to closed, like R1, the account handoff agent runs. Nobody's like watching it, no autonomous, no kind of oversight. So again, it's a spectrum. I think all of us will be on a different degree of trust, but we want to make it so that when you get these suckers dialed in, they go to work for you. You got other things to do.
That is amazing. Okay, Nicholas, thank you so much for coming on and sharing everything that HubSpot is rolling out. This is phenomenal. If people want to try this out today, where do they go? And also, if they already have HubSpot, is this going to appear? How are they going to see this and use this?
Yeah, everything that we've talked about today is out. So some of it might be in kind of beta, some of it's in GA. So the customers can determine how much they want to work with it. But at the end of the day, all of it's real software. This isn't announced out in the future. You can go to HubSpot.com/AI. You also have all of the stuff we do at Inbound is on the Inbound website, which I think you can include in the show notes. And the other part too is that when people start using this software right now, our product team for all of this stuff right now is available. So we really want to start getting people in there. Like you can shape the future. Tell us what the things that you want and we'll build it.
That is phenomenal. Okay, thank you so much for coming on the show today. To the listener, thanks so much for tuning into the podcast. Make sure to leave us a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, and we will catch you in the next episode.